Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of 44-year-old Maarten Dickhoff from the Netherlands. On January 23rd, 2024, he left his hometown of Alphen, Rijn, headed for Belgium in his dark grey Volkswagen Transporter, where he booked a hotel in Ostend and visited Casino-Kursaal twice on the same day. First time in the afternoon, after which he left to drive to Gouda, which is a town in the Netherlands. At 7:12 p.m., he made a cash withdrawal at the Shell in Gouda. Then in the evening, around 11 p.m., he was at the casino again, which he left about half an hour after midnight, headed for the entertainment area of Ostend. So I'm guessing that's where the bars are, the nightlife, so to speak. Then that night, or that morning, around 4:15 a.m., he drove again towards the Netherlands, getting a coffee at the Esso gas station in Drongen. And this coffee visit or coffee stop was captured on camera. He then drove via the R4 over Ghent toward the Dutch border, and around 5:15 a.m. his phone gave one final ping near Wondelgem, after which his phone went off. The van then drove still on the R4 towards Zelzate, where it suddenly turned around again and drove towards Ghent. After that, the van was found on February 26th in Aalter, in the Aard parking lot, which is still in Belgium. We know that the van was there on Wednesday, January 24th at around 6:05 a.m. due to a parking ticket that was left on the van. Now, whether Maarten was the one who drove and parked it there is unknown. Due to the strange route that the van took, it could very well be that someone else drove it or that he was driving under duress. Either way, Maarten has not been heard or seen since January 24th of last year. Now, whether he was a frequent gambler, I don't know. And why he drove all the way back to Gouda in order to get a cash withdrawal is also unknown, because I'm pretty sure there are many places in the Netherlands that he could have gotten a cash withdrawal. That would have been a much shorter drive, because Ostend is along the coast in Belgium, and Zeeland, which is a Dutch province, is fairly close to that. You just have to drive a little bit north, and then you're already in Zeeland. Pretty sure they have cash points there, but instead he chose to drive all the way up to South Holland, or is it North Holland? Well, anyway, somewhere north of Rotterdam, which is a much longer drive. So there's a lot of questions, not much answers, and that is why we're doing a reading on the case. We're going to start off with the Hush Tarot deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Vice Versa deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. All right, let's see what we've got here. We're starting off with the Three of Cups in reverse, and then the Hermit deck landed on its side, so I left it like that. It says to me that there was some disagreement with somebody, or maybe just internally not feeling very happy. Could be that there was a financial situation that they were trying to work on, trying to fix, and the Hermit is kind of going internally for introspection, and also kind of not, because it's on its side, which makes me wonder if they were like planning something. They may have mentioned something to this, that, or the other person, but not the full story. Like, oh yeah, I got some issues, or I'm going to do this thing, going to try something soon, something like that, and then just not really elaborating on that. Also noticing that there is a snake that this owl has caught. It's sitting on top of a snake right here. See that? Like maybe he thought that he had the answer to his problems. All he needed to do is kind of like keep things quiet for a little bit and everything was going to be fine. And we also kind of see that here with the King of Pentacles, thinking that he is very logical. He can plan his resources well, which is of course what the Pentacles are all about. And when I saw this card pop up, I thought this represented maybe a major win or something in the casino. Though if you had won quite a bit, the casino probably would have said something, I think. I'm not really sure how that went. But anyway, so this seems like, okay, I got everything that I need, or I got enough to take care of business, because the King of Pentacles is all about managing resources, taking care of business, etc. So he thought that he could do that. We see next card, the 10 of Wands, which is this person about to put down a load. This card kind of reminds me of that song. There's like several different iterations, like she ain't heavy, she's my sister, and there's also he ain't heavy, he's my brother, and that type of thing. But it kind of looks like that because it's a very cute kitten, but it is a load on her back. But they're about to put it down, so maybe whatever has been bothering them, or they feel like whatever's been bothering them, is going to be let go soon. Then we get the Knight of Wands. So over here we think, okay, we have some issues. We start off with some issues, but then we go ahead and do the thing that we didn't really want to tell anybody about. Maybe he didn't want people to know that he was going for a casino, first of all. Then he kind of sees his way out, wants to be practical about it, about to put down the load. And then the practicality of the king is replaced with the impulsiveness of the Knight of Wands. So now the knight is thinking perhaps like, maybe I can double this, or maybe there's something I can do to make it better. Something along those lines. Then we have the 7 of Wands. We are being challenged, or perhaps we think we're being challenged. In any case, they look very wary. And then the next card we have on the road that comes after is the World in reverse, which I often tend to see as disappearing from the world. It could also be just kind of checking out. And I'm wondering if this is the part where he turned off the phone, or somebody else turned off the phone, like just cutting off from the world for a bit. So there's challenges that need to be met after acting impulsively, and now we're like, okay, I'm just going to disappear for a while, we're going to take care of things, it's going to be fine. That type of vibe is what I'm getting over here. We see the 9 of Swords, which is a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, so maybe they aren't quite sure of themselves, how they're going to make it out of this, whatever this is. These guys came in late, so I'm going to put them down here for now. We see now the King of Swords in reverse, followed by the 2 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so where the King of Pentacles was very practical earlier, on this row we have somebody kind of checking out of the public eye and being worried about things, and then making decisions that maybe were not the best to make, or they're trying to, I don't know, play a fast one on someone, because the King of Swords in reverse could be somebody who is lying, could be somebody who's trying to outsmart people, manipulate the situation, that type of thing. And there is only one solution that they want, because the 2 of Swords is in reverse. We are hyper focused on one train of thoughts. Then we have the Knight of Cups upright, only really focusing on our own wants and needs. Not sure if this is Maarten at the point, but could be that they ran into somebody else who has also joined the party, so to speak, and now we have somebody who is only really focusing on themselves. They don't really think about anybody else. We have some conflict over here with the 5 of Wands on the end there, and this is kind of like a half joking type of vibe with the card on its side like that. Like normally you'd have a bit of sparring, maybe people kind of ribbing each other, and here it's more like if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna have to do something nasty to you, like that type of thing. So they are pretending not to be super serious, but they actually are. This is the 4 of Swords in reverse and Temperance. Okay, so there is no rest to be had here. They cannot take a break. This feels like somebody is on their case, trying to keep them focused on their thing the entire time, which may also be what this knight over here is representing. Like they're trying to keep him on a one-track mind with this one as well right there. So they're not given any chance to think, breathe, come back to their own self, to draw some conclusions. Kind of reminds me of how scammers will put the pressure on you to keep you in a certain mindset. That's kind of what these combinations of cards are telling me. He is trying to keep his head cool though, with Temperance right there on the end. Also perhaps putting his own cards on the table, because this person is taking off this mask. It's a mask, as you can see. There's like a little rope tied down there on the sides and a little knot down there. So they probably were initially pretending to be this or that, and then now they're like putting all cards on the table and playing with an open hand. So it seems like if anybody was involved, then they would be here now. So this is, I think, after he leaves the casino for the first time. which I think is around here. Like here he's got this winning maybe, or at least some type of impulse to keep going because he thinks he's going to be able to get out of practical issues with that, putting the burden down. And then over here we have the impulsivity and the one-trick mindedness. So let's see what else we can get for Maarten. Okay, that one wanted to flip. Again, 7 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this might be the part where they put even more pressure on and basically saying like, okay, if you don't do this, then we're going to do that. But it's a lie. So increasing the stress factor to make it seem like they're being challenged on something, and either he doesn't buy it or it's definitely not what they are saying. Oh, okay. I think we're being tempted over here with the Ace of Cups like that. You can see the person on the horse looking at the statue, which is of a, I wanted to say scantily clad, but I don't think they're even clad in any manner. Statue over there of this woman, and they may be given a potential prize to win if they go ahead with whatever it is that these people have planned. So there may be some type of promises being made that they may not be intending to keep, or there is something in the background that he's not been made aware of, since we are looking at the back of the card. Okay, the Sun card flipped off to the side and it is facing the other way. Normally the Sun card would show a very cheery dispositioned person over here with the horse. Everything looks great. But on the other side, we see that we're actually locked out from any sort of happiness. We're locked out from any sort of progress. The all-seeing eye was over there and observing every move that we make. So they may be trying to make light of things, but they're not getting anywhere. In any case, we're being locked out from the things that we want, the things that we desire. So there is a control on our actions and our possibilities. Oh, there's one on the floor. And there was this guy. 2 of Pentacles and 7 of Cups, and both of them reversed. One of them, the back side of it as well. So under these circumstances, we're not able to make good decisions. Normally the 2 of Pentacles would be trying to balance our resources, trying to figure out what would be the best course of action. But in the background, we can see the ship leaving. It has already set sail. On the 7 of Cups, we see a man who is totally enthralled by these cups that are floating in the air above him. And actually, his eyes are white. You guys can see that. He's not even really fully conscious of what he's doing. He's in the marshes, in his underwear, basically. This is like a medieval undershirt that he's wearing. So he's out there not in the right state of mind and blinded by things, blinded by offers, and none of them probably will be true. So he's basically being made to make decisions based on no information, lies, and promises that are not going to get kept, even though the promises sound good. So maybe there were some people trying to scam him out of his money, or at least wanted something from him, whether he won something or not. Could be that they just thought that he had money, that they just saw him walking out of the casino and thought, hey, here's our mark. And when they figured out that actually he didn't have all that much, or they were done with him, they were like, oh yeah, no, but we've got all these other things for you and we can do this and that as well. So who knows what they were doing, but it's a lot of trickery here, a lot of empty promises. Well, he's not able to move forward or backwards, at least not with the right information. Got a cramp there. And then we got the 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so we're unable to communicate, unable to message anybody. Our movements are restricted, and our attempts at moving are also restricted, because the 8 of Wands is also movements, kind of like a chariot card, but then the minor version. Okay. The Knight of Swords in reverse. I actually wanted to flip it immediately. So we're in a dark space, but we feel like we're headed towards some place good, at least some type of sunrise, I think. They may think they're heading into the light, Even though they may feel like there are some lies being told because it's in reverse, he may also be trying to fool them in reverse as well. But if you look at the other side, we're actually in a very dark storm and we have no clue where we are. We can't see anything. Horse also looks kind of blinded over there. See if you can see it better upside down or upright. Oh, sorry. Do need to put it actually in front of the camera, but it doesn't look like the horse can see much either. So I'm thinking that there's a lot of trickery happening here as well. We don't know which way is up or down. Now I know these are elemental signs, but they kind of look like elevator directional buttons to me at this point. So he's trying to stay in the saddle even though things are moving very quickly around him, and trying to keep up even though things are made very difficult for him. Okay. Hierophant. All right, somebody pretending to be some type of authority figure. And once again, I'm looking at a snake on their staff, or whatever you want to call that. Scepter, I think is what it's called. They may also be appointing or appealing to some type of unknown authority. They're wearing a mask, so they may be threatening him with reporting him to this or that person, and they don't even really know who this person is. Somebody may be pretending to be this authority that the Hierophant is representing over here, and that's why he has a snake on his scepter, because there is a snake in the grass. Okay. Let's see, we got like 3 cards here. 5 of Swords. Okay, then this is the world again. Yes, it is. With the Magician on the other side, and then we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so first there is an argument verbally, maybe mentally, maybe thinking to himself like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. The world is in reverse again. We saw that earlier. And then we have actual physical combats, maybe some type of, well, normally you would say sparring, I would say that anyway, but since there is a broken wand on the ground, it may be going a bit further than that. There may be actual physical confrontations happening here. 2 sides facing off. So this may be where they are actually fighting each other. Maybe they actually pull over somewhere and physical violence took place. Three cards here. 2, oh, that's not the 2 of anything. That is the High Priestess. The same keys over here as well. The Hierophant had them over here. Now I've got them over there. We also have the 9, oh, again, the 10 of Wands. And we have the 2 of Wands. 3, sorry, god damn it. 10 of Wands over here. We also have the 3 of Wands down there. All right. So we are again trying to carry this burden to the finish, but we are not aware of what's going on behind the scenes. We may have been given a glimpse on what's going on behind the scenes, but we don't have the full picture. Once again, we're looking at the keys, like I said, with the Hierophant, but we are in reverse. And we're looking for ways out, but we don't seem to have any options there. Also, just kind of looking at this statue in the background, like that's his predecessor type of thing. Like maybe there have been other people. Maybe other people have been pointed out to them as well, like, oh, these other people that were here before also did the thing, so why won't you do the thing? It's really easy, like that type of thing. Even though it is exhausting, they may have told him that he's free to go if he just does X, Y, and Z, but then in the background, he actually never had the chance to make any plans because there were just things that he did not know that they were holding over him. I'm thinking this is the part where he actually physically disappears for last time. Probably after the van was parked over there at Aalten. So let's go on to if we're ever going to learn more about this case, if we're ever going to find him or any signs of him. Okay, this stack is a little bit annoying. Okay, fine. Well, that also happened. Anyway, let's take a look what we've got here. Shuffling's not going very well today, I have to say. But we have here the Queen of Cups upright. Somebody who is emotionally connected and really down in the, I want to say dumps, but it's kind of like they're on the ground if you look at the card, like they're right down there in the weeds, so to speak. So they could be so emotionally involved that they want to know every minute detail of this entire case, and they've been digging around for some time. This could be somebody who is related or has some type of personal investment in these types of cases. So not even specifically his case, but just disappearances. Maybe they have an issue with a certain group that has been suspected of doing similar things, making people disappear after casino visits, because that is a thing that happens. We have here the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, so they have been very emotional about it, this whole research thing that they're doing. So far they have not had any success. The key is eluding them with this Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the King of Cups as well in reverse. Okay. Now normally you'd look at this and go, oh, he's got wine in a cup. But the first thing that I came up with was blood for some reason. So there may be a blood relative here, but it's in reverse. So it could be that this King of Cups is kind of manipulative. Also, we have a King of Wands here. Okay, double royalty over here, who may be wanting people to keep quiet because there is this red thread that they've got in their beak, crossing over the mouth of what I imagine could be somebody sleeping, but they may also be a previous victim or somebody who has been silenced in some way. There is also a chess piece down here, so they may be somebody who has outsmarted people in the past in order to keep them quiet. So these two may be like in the ring of people that would make other people disappear, and they may be trying very hard to keep this investigation from succeeding. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so now we're being very practical. A lot of kings and queens right off the start. So this one is giving a bit of a Disney princess vibe with all the birds, etc. landing on their hand. This queen may be somebody who comes from a fairly common background, as I'm looking at the dandelions down there. But they have a certain strength that goes beyond any sort of class limitations or anything like that. This almost looks like one of those strings of garlic that they've got around their waist there, like a sash. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a very practical person, I think, who is now going to try and dig into this case or dig into these people or something along those lines. But they're giving a vibe of, I'm not going to give up easily. I may look frail. I may look like I don't really amount to much, but just watch and wait, basically. And they do have other people's support on their side by their drawing in of these birds, etc. So they may be fairly popular in their own way and definitely effective as well. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse, normally a sign of great happiness, but so far we are looking at a couple of herons that might want to get up. Let's take a look what's under their paws, actually. Nothing much, but they do have a cup at their feet as they try to escape. So maybe they have certain issues that they need to deal with, but things might be taking off, spurred on by the fact that they feel so bad about things in general, because it could be that they are motivated to fight off this negativity, maybe the anxiety that's built up over time. Could act as a motivation to get things moving, keep things moving. Seven of Cups again. Okay, so we are once again hopeful, but is it the right type of hope to have? Are we wishing on a star? Or are we actually seeing some things materializing? They may have a certain hope and trust in something they probably shouldn't, because this horse is falling apart on all sides. There appear to be like bees nesting inside of its neck. There are arrows sticking out over here, so it kind of looks like the efforts that they have tried to go through basically in order to solve this case have not really come to anything, but they're hanging on for dear life regardless. Like, they have a lot of hope. They may actually do a lot of praying, etc. Yeah, they are definitely wishing on the universe to help out, trusting in the universe to help them out, with the Fool upright as well. Even if people are telling them to stay quiet, because there is one of those little hush notes in here. Some of the cards have that in this deck, since it is, of course, the hush deck. Not all of them, so when I do see one, I do tend to take note. Noticing a lot of moths on the picture as well. And again, the dandelions right there. So it could be that they only really have time to work on this at night, or that at night their faith is strongest because perhaps they feel like they are the most connected to the universe with the full energy right there. The Empress. Okay, so they will have a motherly figure vibe, whoever this is. We also have the Six of Swords. Okay, so they may be transported by other people. They may go places based on what other people tell them they should go take a look at, guided by them. Kind of comes across as somebody who tends to end up in bad situations, as you can see over here with the piranhas, but due to their faith, they always end up okay, because even though the boat is pretty much all gone, they're still sitting there, and just the very fact that everything is going so badly is the reason why the boat's still floating, because the piranhas, in their attempt to try and get to her, are keeping it afloat, basically. So bad situations only really serve to keep them going, which is a good quality to have if you're trying to see this through to the end. Yeah, okay, we have the Six of Cups on its side. We are being pushed along by memories of the past. They may feel like they have something to make up for from the past, because one of the cups is on its side. Maybe they're trying to make things right due to some connection that they used to have. And also maybe kind of like if I were missing, they would do the same type of vibe, I think. So it sounds like they're definitely motivated to do right, but are they going to actually find something? What's the result of all of this? All right, 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords again. Okay, so this says to me, basically, this is the result. You're gonna see some results if you stop letting other people determine what you do next, and if you choose your destiny, your direction, and the things that you want to do. So maybe somebody will actually come in and bless the situation as well, when you show more self-directedness. Some unknown benefactor might actually come in and support you, but you gotta do things more your way, I feel, rather than letting other people steer your boat, so to speak. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing from Maarten Dickhoff. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. If you want to subscribe, that's even more appreciated. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.